I've been teaching people to sell on Amazon for 1.5 years now. And in my time actually teaching people, I was able to help a lot of people being successful, building multiple six figures business on Amazon. But I've also seen a lot of people fail, and not really fail, but a lot of people give up. And there's a common trait in between that you can see in the people that are failing, that will, because they would actually start saying, they would actually start making good money, but they would give up because of multiple reasons. This is what we're going to discuss in today's video, so you can actually avoid doing this huge mistake, and that will lead you to actually give up and not be able to run a successful Amazon business on the long run. And I think this is the key word here. It is on the long run, because it's easy. If you do this, it's easy to run a successful online arbitrage business in the short run, but in the long run, it's a different story. Before we start, if you do not know me, my name is Chris Mangunza. I release daily videos about selling on Amazon. If you're new, you're subscribed and like this video so you get recommended more videos. There's everything that you need on the videos that I have to help you scale to 7 figures. If you need more help, because there's a ton of videos, if you need more help, I offer coaching, link in the description, all right? I offer also different products. You can check out the description. You can do it by yourself. So, as I was saying, the biggest reason why a lot of people actually give up is because of networking. And it's not because they do not network, okay? Because if, to tell you the truth, because right now it's super easy for me to actually network, okay? Like I have this YouTube channel. Yes, I only have 2,000 something subscribers, but people come to me to talk and all that stuff. And so it's super easy for me to network, to meet new people, actually. And you should get on social media. It doesn't matter what you do. You should get on social media and talk about the industry that you are in, because it is going to attract a lot of people in that industry, and it's going to make it super easy for you to network. You do not need a huge audience or 100,000 subscriber audience, 50,000 to actually network, okay? I was able to start networking before I was even at 500 subscribers right here. So just quick side note. This is something that you should do. It's going to help you a ton. Now, one of the main reasons, the truth is, networking is actually a double-edged sword for a lot of people. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because most of the people that I've seen giving up are people that were over-reliant on networking. And as I said, networking is not a bad thing. Then it can actually help you fuel your growth and to grow way faster. But to be honest, if we look at what I've done myself before I even started talking, because when we started doing this business, I was talking to nobody. I was just running my business by myself, okay, before I started making content. And even before I started making content, I started networking a little bit before I started making content. But before I actually started really networking, before I was even making content, I already did a couple $100,000 of revenue with online arbitrage, because I'm talking about with online arbitrage, not retail arbitrage, not private labeling, because these are the two business models that I ran before I started doing online arbitrage. And so what I'm trying to say is this. You can definitely build a multiple six figures online arbitrage business without networking, and people that tell you that you absolutely need to network, it's a lie. And I believe that it is actually detrimental to your growth. You should be able to figure out this business by yourself. There's a ton of information. It's not a business that is too hard to run, okay? You should try to learn the business by yourself before you start networking, because as I said, the biggest mistake that I see people do, the common trait that I can see amongst people that actually give up is that they are over-reliant on networking to actually grow their business. And the truth is that you should, because a business is not built on networking. You are building your business on the wrong foundation. A lot of people start networking, start making some friends, and figure out how to run a business and get some success in the short term. That they are not able to replicate. They are not able to replicate the success because they do not understand the foundation, and they just all the success that they had in the short term was coming from networking. It was not coming from actually setting up process in their business to be able to run the business correctly, to be able to find leads, to be able to find loops. This is the main thing that you need to be able to figure out. You need to be able to figure out how to make a little bit of profit by yourself, by finding your own loop, by finding your own products. And then you are going to supplement that with networking. Because the truth is that, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. And this is why, because by the way, this is the way I've been doing things ever since I was in school. In school, literally, like when we had group projects, I used to tell everybody, when I was in the US, because in Europe it's different. School in Europe, it's different. You cannot do that, okay? But for all the group projects that I had in college, right here in the US, except in my senior year, okay? Except in my senior year, but for the first 3 years in college, all the group projects that I had, I was doing all the work because I did not want other people to fuck up the project, okay? I needed to get my 4.0 GPA because, long story, I'll tell you my whole story, I absolutely needed a 4.0 GPA, and I was not going to let other people slow me down. So all the works, all the group projects that we had, I did all the work, and I just said to people, I'm going to make it, if we had a presentation, I'm going to write down the whole presentation, I'm going to give you some notes, just go in front of the class, do your part, just memorize your part, I'm going to do the whole work, okay? Because I do not want to let other people slow me down. And the truth is that, people tell you that, it's fine, it's good to find an accountability partner, it's good to do this, good to do that, network with beginners. At the end of the day, it's just going to slow you down. At the end of the day, at that time, because most people that you are going to talk to are going to give up, okay? If you look at all the successful people, all the people that were successful with this business model, yes, it's fine to document your journey, but do not rely on networking to be able to grow your business. It's not how you're going to grow your business. You need to figure out this shit by yourself. You need to be able to figure out this shit by yourself, and then you're going to start supplementing. Because, by the way, it's the same thing with college. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that were actually with me in the first few years of college, and colleges, I have no idea where they are right now. I do not really care. I was talking to nobody. I was just focusing on my job, and this is the exact same thing that I did with online arbitrage. For the first few, online arbitrage actually no, because online arbitrage I was able to scale pretty fast because I was doing retail arbitrage before that and private labeling before that. But with this Amazon business for a couple of years, I just focused on learning the business and growing my business by myself. Okay, and after that I started networking because I needed to figure out the basics. And the truth is that you cannot bring any value to people when you network if you are just a beginner, if you haven't figured out anything yourself. And people are going to give up on you. And this is what I've seen happening a lot. People being over-reliant on networking to be able to find loops and all that stuff. And, after a little bit of time, those loops die down. And you cannot actually make money from those loops for a little while. And then what's happening is that those people don't have any loops anymore. They do not know where to find products, do not know to find loops, all that stuff, because they were relying just on networking to find those products. And because of that, they start dying out. And like the people that were sharing all those loops with them are not open to share anymore with them because they were doing all the work. And so those people that were over reliant on networking actually started going down and gave up pretty much. This is a pattern that I've seen happening over and over again. All right, so figure out this business by yourself. Okay, start figuring out the business by yourself. Consume a lot of content. You have my whole channel. There's other people creating content. Just consume a lot of content to be able to figure out the business. Try to think for yourself, because one of the things that helped me as well, scale fast. Try to think for yourself, because people were the sourcing method, and this is why my first video was quite successful. The sourcing method that people were sharing with storefronts token and all that stuff are not that great for beginners, and I've been saying it over and over again. And at the end of the day, what you need to do is build your target list, and this is basically what my first video ever on YouTube was. I believe that was my first video. It was either my first or my second video. You can actually check. It's how to actually find profitable online arbitrage products to sell on Amazon, in which I actually documented the process of how I was able to actually make things work with online arbitrage by doing this instead of following the advice of storefront stalking, and it paid out, okay? Because right now I can do storefront stalking, of course, but it is not the beginner's method. But what I'm trying to say is that consume a lot of content on how to run this business, but do not stop there. Actually take a lot of actions, and this is the only thing that you need to be able to get your first few $100,000, and you can scale past that by yourself. But you can, when you pass that point, you can start networking to grow your business faster. Of course, it does not mean that you should not network at all. It's probably a mistake to not network at all, to not talk to everybody. But I think it's the safest bet. It's the safest bet, because it will force you to actually learn stuff by yourself, and then when you start to network, it's to add fuel to the fire. Okay, but if you do not have a fire started yet, if you haven't been able to figure out loops yet, or all that stuff, there's no point in you doing this, okay? When I started selling on Amazon, I figured out everything by myself, and then I added fuel to the fire, and I was able to provide values to other people. So if you are able to learn, and it does not mean that you should not document your journey, okay? This is different. But by the way, do not start documenting your journey and sucking dick on Twitter, okay? Like people do to build an audience. It's worthless. Actually start documenting your journey and play the long game. Play the long game. Do not expect to start documenting your journey and to have 10,000 followers. Stop tagging everybody on your tweets. Just document your journey, and the way you documented your journey will bring some value to people down the line when you are successful, when you are actually successful, when they will see how you actually grew to that point, right? But do not be over reliant on networking. Just figure out how to grow a business yourself, and then add fuel to the fire. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like, do all that YouTube stuff. I'll see you tomorrow for a new video, because I release a new video every single day, like I've been doing for 1.5 years. Thank you.